What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mike Rock Uncensored. If you're enjoying the content and you want more of it, please do me a huge favor. Hit the like, subscribe, and follow button so that you can receive all the latest updates as soon as we upload them to the channel. If anybody was watching my videos last week, you saw that I was posting a few things that some people thought was me standing out against the Jewish community. After doing my homework and looking at a lot of the issues, I still have the same stance when it comes to this upper echelon Jewish cult that is happening behind closed doors in Hollywood, big business, and in our government. However, I also stand with Israel, with the real Jewish community. And I think that there's a separation that we need to acknowledge. And my whole problem is that when we use racism and anti-Semitism to protect criminals, that's what I have a problem with. Black Lives Matter was a bunch of criminals. This thing that's going on in Hollywood and the people who are in control, they are criminals, period. So anyways, some information just came out that to me actually supports what I was saying last week. You remember all of these Palestinian protests that were happening on college campuses and how these people were speaking out on behalf of either Hamas or the Palestinian, and how, number one, this is somebody brought this to my attention about this whole Israel thing, and I am an America first individual. I've got my kids to take care of. And in order to make sure that they have a bright future, I have to care about what goes on in this country first. And it's really sad that our government right now doesn't see it the same way. They would rather assassinate a person's character and make him look bad so that you don't vote for him, instead of looking at the issues that plague this country and then making a decision on who can best help us out of those situations, who can give us those solutions. But anyways, this whole thing with Palestine. So we know Joe Biden and them are standing on the behalf of Palestine, and it kind of made you wonder why. The problem that I'm having is that I just found out that one of the people who was funding the pro-Palestine protesters was a Jewish person. Pro-Palestinian protesters are backed by a surprising source: Biden's biggest donors. Some of the most outspoken groups against Biden and Israel get funding from foundations attached to some of the biggest names in Democratic circles. President Joe Biden has been dogged for months by pro-Palestinian protesters, calling him Genocide Joe, but some of the groups behind the demonstrations receive financial backing from philanthropists pushing hard for his reelection. I don't know why I messed that up. Now, here's the thing. The donors include some of the biggest names in Democratic circles. Soros. I know about Rockefellers when it comes to like gold and their influence on the world and everything else. I haven't yet checked to see whether they are Jewish or not. But the one thing we do know is that George Soros is Jewish. And to me, that's huge. Why would someone who is Jewish and supposedly stands with Israel and the Jewish community and wants to cry anti-Semitism every time there's a problem in Hollywood, big tech, and our government, why would they also push a pro-Palestinian protest on college campuses, financially support these protests? That's my problem with this upper echelon Jewish cult that's happening here in America. They are the ones pushing anti-Semitism by creating movements and situations that force us to pay attention to anti-Semitism. They're the ones doing it. I said it in a previous video that growing up, I rarely, if ever, saw someone being made fun of or someone being discriminated against because they were Jewish in my own neighborhoods. It wasn't until I started hearing it with some of these celebrities and these government officials that I even knew what discrimination against Jewish people meant. Like, all I knew was, discrimination against black people, against white people, against Mexicans. I never heard of this thing against Jewish communities until it started attacking the people who had money. And then I realized that some of the people who were being attacked because of this, who had the money, they were doing some dirt. They were using anti-Semitism to keep you from looking into their background. Case in point, the Epstein list. Case in point, Harvey Weinstein. Case in point, Woody Allen. Case in point, George Soros. All of these people have something to hide in Hollywood. And now you have to ask yourself, how in your right mind could you stand with a movement like with what's going on in Israel, to stand with Israel, but also go behind their back and push movements that go against Israel? No, again, nobody in their right mind, nobody with any kind of heart or logic or common sense wants to see anything bad to happen to anyone just because of their skin color or their culture or anything else. So it's not about the Jewish community. It's about these people who are weaponizing anti-Semitism and other things here in America, not in Israel, in America, that we need to concern ourselves with. Go ahead. I really want to know. In the comment section, let me know how this makes sense to you. I'll wait. You guys have a great rest of your day, man, and we will talk to you guys again in the next video. Peace.